for coming to watch Dish It Out with me, your hostess with the mostest, Katie Baker. Super excited, got my logo set up now, and got my banner set up and a few things there, so I'm very excited about that because my friend Karen helps do that for me. You know, I probably could do myself, like I definitely have the skills to do it, I just don't have the software or the time and patience. Plus, she does amazing work, so shout out to Karen. I was looking at my resume the other day and I realized that just because I've been home on maternity leave with the young one, I've been busy. I've been working my ass off, and I'm not the type who could just sit still and let time pass. It drives me nuts. Even when I'm watching TV, I have to like be folding laundry or doing something else to make me feel productive. So it's very rare where I'm just sitting there doing nothing and just watching TV. When I do, I take in those moments. So yeah, well, this is probably the newest, I think the newest thing I started was this podcast. So this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for anyone who's been watching and tuning in, or if you're just checking out now and you're going to backtrack and look at other ones, thank you. So it does take some time because I do edit out. I was thinking about just doing one long stream, like doing this live, or just doing one take and then posting all together. But I have a lot of hums and haws sometimes, and I don't like posting those. And you don't need to hear me rinsing all the time. So I thought I should just cut out the shit nobody actually wants to hear. It's a bit time consuming editing it, but I love it. It's fun. It's nice to have a creative outlet, right? Let's see. Also, well, I took journalism in school, and I haven't done anything with that in a long time. That's a whole separate story, but Sean's aunt actually suggested, Aunt Jenny, thank you for suggesting this, that I should help people with their resumes. And I thought, well, there's places in like every town that you can go to for free that will help you, the employment service. But pretty much every major city has something like that. I don't know if you ever had to go to one of those. You definitely do feel like a number. There's probably one where in my hometown in Dunnville where I didn't feel like a number. I felt like someone was actually caring and helping me. But a lot of the times, I don't know, I feel like people are just there for a paycheck. And they say, you know, this is what your resume should look like. Rarely do they actually do it for you. Where I try to make it much more personal. Anyway, and I try to like tailor the resume and the cover letter to like the specific job that they're going to. Because that's what I do for myself, and I found that in those centers, they never really did that for me, and I think that is a big help. Anyway, I'm not talking about that now just to plug me, myself. That's for later. No, what I'm talking about, I just wanted to talk about how I've been keeping myself busy, besides plugging myself. So the resume service, the video podcast, I'm glad they're called podcasts now, not vlogs. For some reason, I never liked that term vlog. Vlog. It's not like the word disturbs me or grosses me out. Like, some people get grossed out by moist. I think that's ridiculous. I want a nice moist sponge cake, right? It's okay to feel a little moist down there. You just don't want to feel soggy down there. Right? No. I think soggy should be the new moist. Oh, I wanted to do freelance photography as well, because I've always loved photography. Ever since, way back in my day when we had film. It was actually, I was in college and we switched over we had film and did the whole black room techniques and everything in the first year. Second year, I go back and we switched all over to digital. So I was literally there in the midst of that changeover. So that was pretty crazy. And I remember knowing that I would miss it, that I would miss film. There's just something more appeasing to have like the tangibility of photography in your hands, where you could still do those black room techniques to help your photography image in some way. I always did black and white photography in high school. I don't know, it's probably cheaper for the solutions and developer and all that. probably why they did that for our high school, but I was actually really impressed when I got to college and realized how good our photography lab was in Dunnville Secondary School. I was going to say high school. Dunnville Secondary School. Yeah, Mr. Topolinsky, he ran that photography department really well, because when I got to college I realized, man, all these machines are like oddballs, none of them matched. They were just very poorly taken care of. So yeah, very impressed by my high school. Props to Dunnville. I wanted to do freelance photography. However, I only have my phone. I have an iPhone 6, I think it is, which takes great shots. I can take awesome photos, which is on my Instagram account. It's Wet Lens Photography. I'll just explain the name in a minute. But anyway, I realized that I can't actually use those photos for freelance publications because I can't get it in 300 DPI. There's only 72 DPI, which is the standard for web use. But when it comes to prints, you need 300. And I know this from working in the magazine. We could not accept anything lower. It was just, it would just turn out looking really shit quality when you go to print it. So I've already put out a few resumes and feelers to try to do freelance. No one's gotten back to me yet, but man, I can't even do that now till I get a real camera. So if anyone knows how to take 300 DPI on your iPhone 6, let me know. Because just because it says high resolution doesn't mean it really is. Oh, so, wet lens photography. I started that in November maybe or something, a few months back. And that's my handle on Instagram. And I thought of the name because I was walking home one day and it was raining and it was spitting out, well, it wasn't super heavy, but it was spitting. Anyway, I had the drops on my glasses and it wasn't streaking, it was just perfect raindrops. It looked pretty cool. And I thought it would be neat to try and, you know, capture a photo of that. And I just thought it was cool, wet glass lenses, you know, wet lens as in a camera lens. So I thought, hey, wet lens photography, that's a cool name. Plus, I'm like 90% pervert and I just wanted wet to be in the name of it. Don't worry, Grandma. None of the photos are pornographic. I'm busy with those projects. We started a little bracelet company, but though we haven't really promoted it yet or even made any sales or interest. But it was Paracord bracelets, which, you know, they look pretty cool, but I just have so much other stuff going on. Not really 100% behind that bracelet idea and putting my all into it. And that's what you need to do. You need to be able to get behind something that you can put your all into it and believe in what you're doing, right? I almost got scammed again by this company that seemed like a pyramid scheme, I guess. You could make thousands of dollars on commission because you're selling these DVD kits, and it's basically like self-promotion. So it's basically like videos and like how to sell yourself and shit that I give away for free with my resume service. Like I charge super cheap for resumes, and then plus I give away free advice to go with it. And I mean, that's probably the same shit that they're selling to people for thousands of dollars. So this is crazy. Like, yeah, sure, I could see how you can make the money, but I just wouldn't feel good about myself selling garbage like that to people. I don't know. In the end, it doesn't really matter how much money you make, but how do you feel about yourself at the end of the day? I've been applying to different jobs, wanting to do the more freelance writing thing, but I'm also going to apply to a radio station in town here, so that's exciting. Well, just a local station. I don't know if they even have any openings or what, but I'm going to go down, write a resume and cover letter I wrote up, throw it in there, see what happens. When it's time for me to look for another job, I pretty much just throw out as many resumes as I can and see who takes the bait. Flood the marketplace with my name. But I do want to still keep doing this because it's fun. It's nice to just speak my name, speak my mind freely, and you know, if someone doesn't like it, they don't have to watch it. You can always hit stop at any time. Can't do that in real life when someone's beaking off at you, eh? So I know my husband's on his way back from work soon, so I wanted to make sure I filmed this before he came home. because it's been a few days since I've done it, and I don't film myself every time I do dishes. A lot of times I want to listen to a podcast instead and just kind of put my mind on auto and just take in what they're saying and let my mind explore different subjects and stuff, what they're talking about. But also, I wanted to make sure I filmed this before he got home, because I don't mind, of course, when it's my baby, because he's distracted, usually watching the Wiggles or whatever, and he's not really, like, paying attention, understand what I'm saying anyway. Whereas if it's my husband or my son, my other son who's 5, I feel so self-cautious when I'm doing this and I'm talking to myself, I guess, because, I don't know, at the time it's just a weird self-cautious thing I have. Like, I don't mind posting it, letting unknown number of people watch it, that's fine, strangers and whatnot, but when it comes to, like, my husband, of all people who I'm most, like, open and intimate with, of course, I get all bashful, which is silly, I know. But I thought about that one time I was walking home, and there was this little pathway between the 2 major streets, and I was walking down there, no one else was around, so I started doing a video. I was recording something, and I stopped what I was doing because somebody else was walking towards me. It was an older man, and I just stopped because I didn't want him to see that I was, like, filming myself, because I'm worried about them thinking that, him thinking that I was, like, such a vain person, because I'm, oh, there's my baby, because I'm, like, talking to myself and doing my own video. But I see other people who don't care to show that and to do that out in public. I don't know if it's a vain thing or just being more confident. That's what I was thinking of. See, I'm kind of glad we don't have a dishwasher, because I wouldn't be able to do this podcast the same way. I'd be all bending constantly, loading and unloading the dishwasher. Going back to my resume services that I do, someone once said to me before, like, why am I undercharging so much? Because I try to keep it very low. I think like $20 to $35 is what my price range is for the different services I do. And somebody's like, well, why do you do it so cheap? It's like, well, and I didn't explain all of this fully because it's something I thought about a lot since she's asked me. Man, I remember, I noticed like now to have to look at your toilet paper and think, okay, do we have enough to get you through to payday? Look at how many meals of meat you have in the freezer. Shit like that. Like, I know what it's like to penny pinch. And when it comes time to you having to get a new job, a lot of the times people are in a situation where they need a job because they need money. They can't afford to dish out $50 to $100 for a resume. Like, that's insane, especially when, like I said earlier, there are services where you can go to get it done for free. It's just that it takes time and effort to get out of the house and to take a number and line up. And like I said, a lot of times you are just a number and it's not a personal experience. So that's why I did it. I'm not here to try and take advantage of anybody. Yeah, I just want to help people. I want to help people and I want to do it in a way that can also help my family. So, yeah, why not? You get it. And that's what life is about, isn't it? Take the skills you have to try and help other people. Right? It's that easy. Some people are good at mechanics. Some people are good at helping to heal people. Find out what it is you're passionate about and then find out how you can make that passion help others. Most of the time, you can. Even if that job is like writing jokes or getting on a stupid podcast like this. If I can make just one person laugh every time they watch one of these videos, man, I'm fucking golden. That's all I set out to achieve. Make you laugh, make you think. Maybe, you know, maybe I can relate to you in some way. You can relate to me about some random story I have. Man, if you ever want to, if anyone's watching this, you want to pitch in, let me know a story you have similar to something I've said. I'd love to hear from you. That'd be really cool. I'm a little disappointed though. One podcast I love listening to, their YouTube channel is taken down. That's the Legion of Skanks podcast. They have something through, I think it's called I'm going to fuck it up. digital gas media or digital gaslight media or something like that. But I think I have to sign up. I don't know if I have to pay for it or what. So I gotta look into that because, man, those guys are so funny. I don't want to miss out. You guys want to check out a hilarious comedian? Theo Vaughn. He has a special on Netflix, and he has his own podcast. It's called, well, the Netflix special I think is called Sorry You Feel That Way, maybe? Or Sorry If I Offended You, something like that. But his podcast is called Last Weekend? Or What Happened Last Weekend? Something like that. Man, I'm fucking terrible for references. Links below. But anyway, Theo Vaughn, he's from Louisiana, so he's got that southern drawl accent. But he does it in like that, you know, kind of cute, kind of sexy, kind of Matt Damon, kind of Joe Dirt way. Joe Dirte. Don't try to church it up, boy. Don't you mean Joe Dirt? I reference that line at least like once every 2 weeks. My husband must be sick of it by now. But I love Joe Dirt. It was probably David Spade's best role. I don't think I saw Joe Dirt 2. I might be disappointed, and I'm scared to watch it because it might not be as good as I'm Your Sister, I'm Your Sister. Because that shit was classic. Okay, here's a question. What movie stands out to you the most, that shocked you the most as a kid growing up? Or anytime in your life? I say as a kid growing up because for me, it was Scary Movie 1. I went with my sister and her friend Brienne because I must have been like 14 or so because my sister drove and I laughed so hard. I was shocked. I couldn't believe you could put half that shit in movies. Like that was, some of that was such dark, dirty secrets. Shit that I would say between me and my friends and my sister, not for parents to hear or to put in a movie. So it was really refreshing to see shit like that at the tender young age of 14. Thinking of the intro for Redneck Ho. Give me a piece of that tender young ass. I'm gonna fuck this redneck hoe. Bitch, use a hoe. And hoe, use a bitch. Everybody know that you's a funky, funky bitch. Oh, it's seriously like a lounge singer. What's his name? Robert Cheese? Or no, it's gotta be Richard Cheese. Is it Richard? Yeah, Richard, Dick for short. Dick Cheese, that's the joke. So, that'd be good if he sang Redneck Ho by ICP. Bitch, use a hoe, and hoe, use a bitch. It's just silly. I had to walk up to the store today. I have to drop in my oldest son off at school. Man, you know it's spring when all the old men are goosenecking around out their car windows to look at you. I used to laugh at that when I lived in Dunnville at home. You knew it was spring when everyone's goosenecking, because fuck. As soon as those legs pop out, you guys are, whoa. Yeah, calm your tits. Keep on driving, okay? Not that I want to. It's not like I don't dress to impress. I dress like a comfortable mom who's hot in the heat, okay? That's my agenda. I'm just gonna try to get from point A to point B without getting raped. I was with my husband in the grocery store and we walked by a Mennonite man who was just standing there looking at something on the shelf, and I didn't notice at all because I'm just doing my thing, grocery shopping. After we came home, my husband said when I walked by him, he looked down and saw my legs. And I was wearing shorts, but not super short shorts, just, okay, mom shorts. And apparently my legs were just too much for this guy because Sean said his eyes were bulging. And he's like, well, he's not used to seeing women like that. Mennonite women, they wear, you know, they're fully dressed. They have maybe their arms and neck shown. That's it. And I told him, like, well, I'm not about to cover myself up. It's fucking hot outside. He's like, no, you don't have to. Just, that's why he was shocked, right? Oh, so it's just funny. Different cultures, different things that will excite you. I really think the Mennonites have a good thing going. Think about it. They live in smaller communities. They rely more on each other. They have that community feel. I think people are missing that. I mean, a lot of the times when you live in the bigger cities, you work in a small cubicle, you go home and put yourself in this little box. You may have tons of families who live near you. If you look at like, you know, 100-yard radius, there may be 4 families around you, depending on where you live in the city. But do you really know them? Is there a sense of community? I told somebody we were leaving Milton because we wanted more sense of community. And she's like, more community than here? I guess maybe to her she was getting that community feel, but not for me. Yeah, I think that's where the Mennonites have the right idea. And, you know, they're more so living off the land, and I think it's just more a natural way of life. I just don't agree with the whole religion aspect of it. And that's just my personal opinion. I just have my own opinions of what is life, what after death, and what happens and shit. But that's where I'm really intrigued by what other people think about that type of thing. And then I kind of look at my own theories and think, do they have something here? Do I need to change the way I'm thinking about this certain topic, whatever it is? Sometimes I think they have their head up their ass. Sometimes I realize I had my head up my ass. Something I definitely stand by. We are all students and we are all teachers, okay? So that means you know something that somebody else doesn't, and they know something that you don't. So don't act all cocky and demean somebody else because they're not as intelligent as you are about a certain subject. Because surely there's something in this life that they know more of than you. So be modest, be kind, and be open and willing to learn. That Captain Feathersword, he's got some pipes on him, eh? Sean noticed the other day that he was married. I'm like, oh, she gobbles that Feathersword. Do you think feathers can get will knots in them? Do birds have will knots? That's a great question. Maybe not, because that's more down. That's what they call them, right? The soft feathers, it's down. It's not a full-on feather. Maybe we all need some down there, huh? Put some down. Wow. Or you could just shave that shit and wipe that shit. I remember when I first found out what a will knot was, I was like scarred. Yep, it was Paul Ewan. He first told me what a will knot was. He shocked me back in grade 7. I had such a crush on him. And one day, I called him up. And I said, Paul, will you go out with me? And he laughed at me on the phone. Then I went to school the next day. And well, he sat right behind me. But all of his guy friends were like at my desk and gathered around his desk. And they saw me and snickered and left. And then I had to sit there feeling humiliated because I knew he had told all of them. And plus just being rejected fucking sucks, right? Man, it doesn't matter who you are. It sucks to be rejected. Some people it fucks with hard. But maybe it's good to learn that early on in life, right? So you know how to deal with loss. That's why kids need to learn how to lose in games, too. Fucking bullshit. Everyone gets a medal for showing up. Please. You get the fucking privilege to play the sport if you show up. You get a medal if you win, you little pussy. When I was walking home today, I thought about how I always chit-chat with the crossing guard ladies, and I always say hi. I always make sure I say thank you, especially, because they're walking on traffic for me and literally stopping traffic so I can get by. So, you know what? It's important to give thanks and show your appreciation to people who you see every day, who they're the ones doing the grunt work. I remember I went on a date with this guy once, and we went to a restaurant, and the waitress was a really beautiful girl, and every time she come up to the table and ask us if we wanted something or was checking on us, whatever, I would always say thank you. I'd smile and say thanks. And he asked me, he's like, why do you keep saying thank you to her? I'm like, because she's our waitress and she's working her ass off and she's doing a good job. Like, but that should have been a red flag for me right there. Like, why aren't you saying thanks to her? Why are you being a fucking dick thinking you're better because right now she's working for you? No, we're all human. Show some dignity to that person and say thank you. Please and thank you, it goes a long way. I know I just sound like my mother there, but it's true. Plus, she was a hot waitress. I wouldn't mind if she came back with us. But that guy was very super, what's the word I'm looking for? Insecure. So, he wouldn't be able to handle that. I was also just thinking about how back in grade 8, I continued to like this Paul guy when I was a kid. Even though he laughed at me and hurt me and whatever, I still liked him. Which I guess goes to show a lot about my character. And probably most women in general. We're pretty quick to forgive, it seems. I don't know if we're just like gluttony for punishment or what, but I still liked him. So, one time in class, I was sitting in front of him, and his friend, Nathan, was right in front of me. And at this point, we're all getting along, we were all having fun. I don't know what we were laughing about, but we were joking and laughing at something that was really funny. And then all of a sudden, Nathan, keep in mind, I still like Paul. His best friend, Nathan, turns to me and says, Katie, will you go out with me? And I was like, and I just kept on laughing. Instead of, because we were already laughing, I just kept laughing. Because my answer was no, I didn't want to say I still like Paul because he was right behind me and I was embarrassed. I didn't want him to know. Whatever, you know, grade 8 drama. But his face just dropped because I don't even know how I laughed. I think it was just super awkward. It wasn't very nice at all. It was probably one of the meanest things I've ever done. And I've always felt super bad about that. And I tried to apologize to him once in like grade 11. I was drunk and I didn't even have the balls to finish saying sorry. So sorry, Nathan, that I was a little cunt back in grade 8. And I remember trying to tell my mom about it when that happened because I felt bad and I want to know like what's the best way to deal with this. I should have gone back and apologized to him in private, like the next day or as soon as possible, or just not have dealt with it in that way to begin with. But man, I guess that's what life's about. Try to learn from your asshole mistakes as soon as possible so you don't repeat the same mistakes again. I tried telling my mom about that. It had to have been like later that day or later that week or something. And when I got to the part where I laughed at him, she just gave me shit and yelled at me about it. Which, yeah, I understand why his mom would want to do that, but I was also trying to like reach out to her and figure out a way how to make it feel better, not make myself feel like shit even more, because that's exactly what happened. It took me a long time to learn like how to deal with that and deal with those emotions. Man, rejecting guys though has never been my strong suit. A lot of times I end up just saying, like, if I'm at a bar or something, a stranger wants to buy me a drink or something like that, I end up saying, like, apologize. Say, no, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. Like, what are you apologizing for? I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just sorry. I've also had guys actually go as far to say, so is your boyfriend here? No. Well, then what's the problem? The problem is I have a boyfriend. I'm not looking to get fucked tonight, okay? By anyone besides him. But I guess there's lots of girls who go out with different agendas, right? I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's been years since I've gone out to a bar, so... or even have a drink. I don't really drink. I find I just get sick before I start enjoying it, and it just doesn't sit well with me. And I've been hungover way too many times where I just don't... it's not... the juice is not worth the squeeze. Roseanne being canceled, that sucked. It's like, man, why you gotta go making, like, fucking monkey references? Really? Come on. Ambient or not, that just sucks. Because it was a really good show. I was enjoying the remake of it. I think we got 2 episodes into the remake, but now it's like, oh, do you even bother keep watching? Probably not. Well, that's it. I'm finally done this mountain of dishes that I had. That's it for now. Dun dun dun. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Suggestions you want to talk about. Any ideas or whatever. I'd love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much. Peace.